November is Manatee Awareness Month, and admittedly, we are all still missing Snooty the manatee very much at South Florida Museum in Bradenton. The most famous manatee in the world passed away in July, but now for the first time since Snooty's death, a new manatee is calling the museum home, and Linda went to meet him.
Yes,
Was it a little sad?
Oh, for 23 years I went to visit Snooty there. Everybody there is still in a lot of pain. It hurts. We love Snooty like a human being, but we've got to move on because Snooty left a great legacy. He taught us so much about manatees. He taught the whole world to love manatees. Yeah. So we've got to use what he taught us, and the people of Bradenton have put their whole hearts and souls into this museum. So we've got to go on with what Snooty started.
And they're doing that with the new manatee?
There is a new manatee named Laguna. So I want you to meet my new friend, Laguna. So you've got a new manatee.
We do. We have Laguna, female, somewhere between 2 and 3 years old. She came in last Tuesday.
What happened to her?
She was hit by a boat. So we see the propeller marks along her back and up to the base of her skull. She had a fractured skull, she had a broken flipper, and was not expected to make it. Just the extent of her injuries was pretty severe, but she's a tough cookie. She pulled through and got to the point where she was able to come and stay with us, which means that she's in pretty good shape. Our job is to get her ready to be released into the wild.
Now, we're watching Laguna learn new tricks.
Well, she's exploring her new habitat, and you'll see her. She likes to swim counterclockwise around the habitat, and she's trying to do barrel rolls. So she gets about halfway over, and she'll float on her back, and then she works her way back onto her front. So Gail also likes to do barrel rolls, and she can do full barrel rolls. I don't know if they're copying each other. I don't know if maybe Laguna picked up that from other manatees while she was at SeaWorld. There's just no telling.
And she's the first to come in since Snooty.
He's the most famous manatee in the world. He helped people recognize how important manatees are, and we're going to continue to work with manatees as part of his legacy.
And it really means we do care about Snooty to bring in more of his kind to help.
It was a very unique situation. 70 years ago, a manatee born in captivity. The rules for working with marine mammals and endangered species didn't exist back then. With these manatees, we do not interact with them. We don't want them to associate food with people. We want them to remain as wild as possible because that's their destiny. They're going back out into the wild. Part of what we do here is manatee rehabilitation. Part of what Snooty was all about is helping people be aware that manatees need help sometime. And our ability to continue to do that is important to us, and having new manatees come in so we can continue with that mission, really, really important to us.
Will you be able to trace them to see how they do out there?
We do. We put a radio tag on the tails of most of the manatees that go back out so we can track their locations. And if they seem to be getting themselves into a place where they might be getting into trouble, we can send a boat out and we can kindly redirect them to a place where they'll probably be better off.
Oh, that's wonderful. So maybe they will still influence people to be more careful around manatees.
People love to come see the rehabilitation manatees. Each of these, as you can tell, has their own personalities. You get to watch them grow up with us for a few months, and people keep coming back just to see how they're doing week after week. I think seeing the manatees here gives us all a reminder that we share the waters with them, and we need to be especially careful when we see manatee signs and we want to slow down our boats.
Aw,
So
yes.
we can honor Snooty by going to see Laguna and friends.
Absolutely.
We won't forget our manatees.
And she'll get comfortable and come out to see people like Snooty did, I think.
I think that might take a lot more years. She's going back to the wild. But you've got to go visit these manatees. They are all in rehabilitation at the South Florida Museum in Bradenton. For times and information, go to their website. Next, you don't have to wait for the season premiere of American Idol to vote for your favorite contestant. We'll tell you how you can do it now.